All right, guys. Injuries from the game. Bartch went out with an ankle, didn't return. Isaac Guerendo went out with a foot, didn't return. Go ahead.
To Guerendo's foot injury.
We're not sure. Possible foot sprain. X-rays didn't for sure show anything, so we'll have to look into more tomorrow.
It's a high ankle sprain, is it? Or is
Yes. Yeah.
How much did you guys just need that right off the bat to just jump out to the 24-0 lead after what's gone on the last couple of weeks?
A lot. I mean, losing that close one at Seattle in the last play at home was so tough, and then the following 2 weeks were as bad as it got. So we had to step it up today. Wanted to play well. I thought we did play well, and the most important thing was getting a win, and we got it done. So I was proud of the guys, the way they came out and the way they finished.
That's offensive rhythm you think this team's been into the first half especially?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that first half went pretty well. So, having, I think, over 300 yards in a half, and I think our defense gave up 2. So I don't think anyone in the league's done that in half this year on both sides. So it was a hell of a first half.
What did you think of the way Isaac played before he got hurt, and how consciously were you trying to take advantage of his receiving skills? Those 2 catches obviously helped.
Yeah, Brock got to a check down on that first third down. He was waiting on Kittle to get across the middle, and that's who I was watching. And then he went underneath to Isaac, and they just dropped him. So that was a huge play. But I thought Isaac looked real good today. Ran hard, affected the game in the pass game, and hopefully we get some good news on his injury. So I had mixed emotions on that last drive. It was nice to be able to go on a 14-play drive to finish it with a touchdown and kind of put him away. But it was tough losing Isaac there.
Difference offensively today? It seems like you've been waiting to have this type of a performance all season.
It's just how it went. There's not like an answer on this compared to the rest of the season. Guys played well, stayed on the field on third down. Thought we got the run game and the pass game going. I thought the defense kept getting us the ball back every second in the first half, so it was easy to stick with it, and momentum's contagious, not just on the offense, but all 3 phases.
Were you a little anxious when the roughing the passer when Brock stayed down for a little bit?
Yeah, always when any of our players are down. But they talked to me in my headset and stuff, and by the time he got to the sideline, they told me it was good, so it was short-lived.
What did you think
Well,
of
kind of asked
Fonda's
similarly
first
to
game
what
back?
I was going to ask, but one of the themes this season between you guys and the players is we need to play complementary football, and it did seem that everybody was firing on all cylinders in all phases of the game today, and I wanted to know, did you think that was sparked by the offense? But you kind of just said that you feel like the defense, well, you said they kept it going, so do you think it was sparked by the offense, and do you think that's how you keep that going for the rest of the season?
We got the ball first and we scored, and then our defense got it right back to us, and it kind of went that way the whole half. So, I think maybe our second series we did punt, and when the defense stops the team 3 and out right after that, and you get it right back, then you quickly forget about it. When you punt and they go down and tie it up, the whole game gets changed. So it's all complimentary football, and the guys were in sync today.
What did you think of Hufanga's first game back, and what does his presence do for the secondary?
I was just pumped to get Huff out there in uniform. We weren't sure how it was going to go this week with him being back for practice, and we thought he looked real good. And then when he told me he had the confidence he had to play on Friday, I was pumped to start him. So just to get him out there, I thought was just the emotions of it. I thought sparked our team. It looked like he played real well, just from what I saw live. I'll see more on the tape, but just the type of guy Huff is, and getting him back out on the field with us throughout the week, and then in that game, I think fired our guys up.
You mentioned the other day that before Christian got here, you've been pretty plug and play with your running backs and be able to use different guys. For Isaac to step up like he did, and Patrick Taylor came in and got a touchdown. If Guerendo is hurting, what can Taylor do for you?
I think you guys saw a little bit today. When we given Patrick runs, going back to the preseason and in practice, he's a good runner. He hits the right spots. He runs hard. So he's a guy who can definitely help us. And, he had some big carries, I want to say, versus Seattle. I think it was when JP went out and he was spelling Isaac, and he had to spell Isaac today. And when he went in, did a good job on all his opportunities.
Would you say that really like a raw guy, but after those 2 tough games, even 3 tough games, as you mentioned in the Seattle game, did you feel the need to speak to your team about keeping the mood up, or do you just sense that it was going to happen anyway?
You mean after the game?
Like going into this week.
Yeah, every time you get in a meeting as a coach, you want to figure out something that's going to affect the players. And when I say affect them and make them practice better or play better, it's very rarely some special words that changes how guys play. But we did talk about the importance of this, where we were at, regardless of the result. I wanted to make sure that we came out today and just showed grit. We wanted to fight, and these last 2 weeks just not making it a game was something we weren't proud of. And we were ready to battle today, regardless of how that went. It went as good as it could, so I mean the win was awesome, but I just wanted to make sure our 10 and how our team worked were ready, and you could tell in the meetings last night, guys were ready for this game, and it came out and it showed.
What was the message to the team, and do you think you can carry this momentum into Thursday night?
I hope so. I mean, momentum, we feel good right now. We played well. It's going to come fast, and the only way we're going to really enjoy today is if we take care of business on Thursday, and then we'll have 3 days to kind of enjoy it and come back and deal with our last 3 games. But if you don't take care of business on Thursday, not much to celebrate about today. So and the main message in there is how proud I am of the guys, and now let's go home, get to sleep. Those guys take care of their bodies tomorrow. We'll put in the game plan tomorrow, and we got to come in Tuesday ready to go because we're 48 hours from a game once it happens.
I feel like you were in a rhythm as a play caller. It seemed like you were calling things we haven't seen that much, like zone reads and tight end screens.
I mean, called some tight end screens this year. Zone read we hadn't, but that's just more of a scheme thing that we thought it looked good, and couldn't believe Brock didn't hand it off. But once he pulled it, I think that was a good decision too. Just we had to overcome that holding call, which we didn't and score, but I thought we did in the second half.
That's great. You said you wanted the guys to come out and play with some grit. When you think about the fact that Malik Mustafa took a hard hit, looked like he was a little rattled, came to the sideline, went back in, and he was the guy that broke up that play with Ozunde, or I think that's how you say his name. When he broke that up, if he wasn't there, that could have been a touchdown, obviously. But then also the grit behind Brock Purdy, taking a hard hit, coming right back at a snap later. Can you just speak to the resilience of those two guys?
Yeah, I mean, grit's is such a roundabout saying, but we got gritty dudes all over our team. We got as tough as guys as there is. I just wanted our team. We haven't been able to battle and finish a game when things have gone bad there, and that's what I wanted to make sure, just the whole team, that we're going to play with grit and show that. Not necessarily as individuals. I know we got gritty dudes all over, but when you have your backs against the wall like we have had, that's when it's your opportunities to show that your team can still play with some grit. Your team can have some resilience, and when we've been in those situations this year where we needed to, we haven't. I think we've done it a lot in the past, so we know how it looks and we know what it feels like. But the opportunities that we've had this year, we haven't got that done. And I just wanted to remind them that this year's not over, and today was an opportunity to show that. And that's not something you can do as an individual. We got gritty dudes, but as a team, that's collectively, and everyone's got to be kind of, say like psychology is contagious, and you try to think like one and play like one, and I felt that today from our team.
Last week, there's been some rumors over the interwebs that you could be traded to Chicago, and John called them comical. Do you have a word to describe those rumors?
I don't know why they come out, but I don't want to be any place in the world more than here, and my family feels just as strong, if not a lot stronger. So, I hope you guys are gonna have to kick me out of here. So there's no way I'm making that decision.
Without McCaffrey, Bosa, and Trent, that's 3 captains. Do you see other leaders, kind of younger players emerging as somewhat as leaders?
Yeah, I think we've been needing that all year. When you want to be a leader, it starts with what you do on the field. It's got to be genuine, and when you have a certain way of playing on the field and you're out there and you do things, guys will start to look to those guys as leaders, and then it's kind of how you carry yourself and what you do in those moments. And I think we've had a lot of guys on this team, going back to even week 1 till now, that weren't, that didn't expect to get a lot of opportunities, maybe when we drafted them or back in training camp, and they've gotten opportunities fast. And that's, I think, one of the positives, that there's a lot of guys that we do believe in, that I do believe are getting better each week, and hopefully they're going to be good Niners here for a long time.
How valuable is it to have a guy like Isaac with that kind of speed, but also enough size to run inside?
I don't get how you can do one without the other. So if you could just draft track guys to run the speed plays and big guys to run the other plays, then that would be easy, but you can get hit wherever you go. You better be able to run outside, inside. You better be able to lower your pads and take hits, and the faster you are, the better, as long as you can do all that other stuff.
You run that screen pass to Kittle, the 33-yarder on the first drive before, and then just how well was he able to exploit the defense?
It was good. We caught him in a zone dog, which helps because they were matching all the guys down the field, so there's only kind of one guy looking at him. Got scarred a lot back in the day calling that because especially people like KJ Wright, they would just sit and stare at Kittle every time he blocked. So as soon as he'd catch it, people would drill him. So sometimes it's hard to get screens to guys who are really good at it. But, you know, that was a good play to open it up. Got it versus the right look. And when you can get George the ball versus the right look, I think everyone sees how explosive he is. And we just give him some crap for getting tackled inside the 5 twice. But he was unbelievable today.
Brock had, had the bum shoulder against Seattle and then had to sit out. And it was in a snowstorm. I mean, it's kind of difficult for him during that 3-game losing streak. Did he stay kind of steady throughout? Did you sense any sort of frustration?
Yeah, I mean, normal frustration. I mean, we want to win, and Brock's as competitive as anyone I've been around. So, he was real disappointed about the Seattle game and how they got away from us at the end. And then for him to come in Monday and feel the way he did was kind of a shock to him and to all of us. And it didn't respond very well that week. And so he wasn't able to come back versus Green Bay and get that taste out of his mouth. And when he did versus versus Buffalo, that wasn't a very fun game for obvious reasons. So he's been battling. He's been awesome in practice. He's been great in the meetings. And I was real happy for today because it seemed like he played his ass off and he was decisive in everything he did. And he's always a competitor.
On that second challenge, were they already in the replay review, or did you throw the flag to try to get them to do the replay? How did that all work?
Which one?
You threw the challenge flag on the second time.
The low catch or the fumble? The fumble? No, once they said it was an incompletion, then we saw on the scoreboard that he threw it backwards. So then I just threw it and said it was a fumble, and I think they overturned it anyways after I did that. So got my challenge back.
After a couple of cross-country road trips in inclement weather, how much did you feel the home field advantage today?
I mean, we always feel a home field advantage. It's so nice to not have to use a silent count and to be able to use our cadence and tee off on the ball and everything. We don't mind going on the road. We've been able to play in loud environments. We've been able to play in cold weather. Doesn't mean we prefer it, but we always love being at home and can't wait to be here in 4 days. All right, thanks, guys.
Mm-hmm.